Guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Dairoku, just continuing Shu's route in chapter 6, I think. Anyway, a few days later, it's been a few days for me too. Alright, that should do it. Finishing up my desk work in the office, I look at the clock. Oh, perfect timing. It was almost the end of my shift. For once, I could go home right on time. Normally, Chief Tokiwa discouraged everyone from overtime, but certain situations required us to handle them before they escalated. The past few days were host to some small but frequent squabbles across the sectors. That's why I wasn't able to see Shu yet. I want to find out where they're living soon. I should go today. I began to get ready to go home right away. I was alone in the office today, and Sami and Yakumo hadn't returned for their rounds. I left a note saying I'd be taking off at the end of my shift and left the office. I wonder if Orochi's at the Makatsui hideout. I hope I can get a map drawn for me soon. As I walked down the hallway, not as walked down the hallway, my device started ringing and I stopped. Right as she's like, as I walked down the hallway, even my tablet was like, ding! Like, that was weird. I hope there's nothing wrong. As I prayed internally, I answered the call. I thought it was Sami or Yakumo, but what I heard through the device was an unexpected voice. Shu? Kawada. Okay. Fujioka squad. Okay, I was like, who's Kawada? Oh, alright, it's the other guy that we met with the Oboroguruma incident. Hello, Spacey! This is Kawada from Fujioka squad! Kawada? Hello! Kawada was a friendly Ayakashimori who handled Shu in the Oboroguruma taxi once before. Thank God they told us that. Although we were all provided a complete roster of Ayakashimori contact information, we usually didn't notify other squads unless it was urgent. After I asked what he was calling about, Kawada stammered as if he were in a rush. I was just making my rounds around Amatsuna and ran into Shu. He said to call you over right now. Huh? Shu said that? I raised my voice in surprise from being called out by the exact person I was going to see. Yeah, he said it had to be you and wouldn't tell me what he wanted. He's just going off about getting you here. He mentioned to come to the usual meeting place, but... The usual meeting place? They must have already moved to another hideout by now, but I still haven't been told where it is. So then it had to be the hideout in Makatsui. Why is he making all this effort to call me out there? Did something happen? So, do you know where to go? Oh, yes, I do. Please let him know I'll be heading there right now. I wondered why I was summoned, but without any reason to refuse, I replied without hesitation. You're gonna be okay alone. An anxious reply came through the device. Yes, I've been over a few times now, and I'll be fine if Shu's the one asking for me. Got it. I'll let him know then. Thank you very much. I'm sorry for the trouble. I hung up, and after stuffing my device back in my pocket, I began to walk off again. I should hurry. I wonder what happened to have Shu call me over. I felt a bit of anxiety as I pondered it. Young boy. Ooh, we're in chapter 7 now. Okay. When I arrived at the hideout, the Ayakashi at the entrance told me that Shu was waiting for me. Shu? I came as soon as I could. And then... There you are. I've been waiting. Huh? Next to Shu stood a small boy I'd never seen before. He wasn't supposed to have been in Sakuratani. Wait. He's a human. Why is a human child here? I'm not sure either, but it seems like he somehow wandered in from the real world. I don't know much about the real world, so you talk to him. I guess this was the reason he called for me, as Shu seemed a bit worried himself.
You're from my world, right? He said he was going to call someone who could help me. Can you take me home, please?
The little boy timidly asked me his question with a helpless look on his face. I will. You'll be fine. After reassuring him, I listened to his story. Although when you see Shu, you wouldn't really... It's not like you're talking to fucking Shiratsky or something where you're like, you have ears and a tail. Or like Akuro where you're like, horns, scary. Like, Shu looks kind of fucking normal. So... His name was Hiromi, and while he was playing at a shrine, he suddenly found himself in Sakuratani. I feel like It wasn't just an accident. You know what I'm saying?
It seems a little sus, all I'm saying.
It was a spiriting away of a person, which happens when a human is on just the right wavelength. Our training covered returning humans who have been spirited away. But normally, if someone wandered in here, the security doctrines would have alerted us. The alarms didn't go off for some reason, so none of the Ayakashimori were notified what happened, and so the boy eventually ran into Shu. This kid was curled up sobbing in a corner on the street in Amatsuna. He seemed relieved to see me after all the Kappa and Oborgaruma and curse bikes. Brought him here since I didn't have much choice. Yeah, you look relatively normal minus the elf ears. You know what I mean? But like kid would see him and be like, oh, he's like an elf. Okay, that's fine. It's not scary. You know what I mean? And then he turns into a snack or something. I don't know. I mean, like, and I kind of feel like if you ran into Orochi, you'd be like, oh, maybe I'm kind of snake eyes. I don't know. He could be the nicest person, but the snake eyes are like, a little scary. A little sus. You know? I see. Shu doesn't look too much different from other humans after all. Exactly. Thanks for taking care of him. I'll make preparations to get him back to the real world. Still crouching in front of Hiromi, I thank Shu, but Shu shakes his head. We're still not done. Seems there's another. Huh? And I came with... Is this boy's name Hiromi or Takumi? Because you can't just fucking switch names, because now it says Takumi, that this is the kid who's talking. I think they messed up. Because Takumi and Takuma? Really? Would you have named your kids that? Because I just feel like... It's like way too similar. Someone's like, Taku, and you're like, huh? Oh, no, which one? Me or Ma? Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, okay, I don't know where part they messed up on. This kid's name, like, on the name plaque here, or his name in the text, but anyway.
I came with my big brother Takuma, but he disappeared somewhere.
Listening further, I learned they were twins. Okay, well, that makes more sense then. Tim and Tom. Really one letter difference. But Timothy and Thomas are different. Takumi and Takuma are like basically the same fucking name almost. And Takuma ended up here with him. Okay, however, with all the Ayakashi around, they got separated trying to run and hide. Well, I don't know what this kid's fucking name. He's got millions. Anyway. Orochi's looking for the other one now. Orochi? I thought it a bit unusual that he was the one who would be helping us. But now wasn't the time to be thinking about that. Alright, let's go find Takuma. I'll contact the other Ayakashimoris, so if we search as a group... No, don't contact any of the others. They did this on purpose. That sounds sus as fuck. And like, oh, people accidentally end up here, but it was weird. We weren't alerted. And then it's like, anyway, I'll alert people now. No, don't do that. This is sus as fuck. This is fucking sus. This kid isn't a human. He's an Ayakashi who's pretending to be a human, trying to trick us, and this is part of their plot. I don't trust them. I don't trust you, kid. You don't even know what your fucking name is. Is it Takumi? Is it Hiromi? What's your fucking name? I don't know. No trust here. Kick the kid. Get him out. And then write that, no, don't trust. Girl, she's gonna fall for this bullshit. Anyway. But if it's just us, we aren't liked by the Ayakashimori, right? I called you because I didn't want any trouble. Then you give me the kid and they won't say anything. Like, this is the lamest fucking excuse. I don't believe this. So that's why he didn't tell Kawada. Only me. No, again, I don't know. This seems sus. It's true that Kawada might have cast suspicion on Shu if he saw him with Takumi. Still, like, anyway. I finally understood why Shu asked me to come, but I was a bit hesitant on how to answer. When it comes to search parties, the more the better. Looking for the other. Alright, what if I call a trusted Ayakashimori who'll listen to you without any suspicion? A trusted Ayakashimori? Shu narrows his eyes at my proposal. And who's that? Yakumo from my squad. You've met him, right? No. Yeah, him. As if convinced after recalling Yakumo's face, he lifts up his head. If you say I can trust him, I will. Go ahead and call him then. But see, and then he does this, and you're like, okay, maybe we should trust him. But, like, I don't know. You don't want to call anyone. Oh, because they don't like us. Look, you found the missing kid. And, like, it doesn't matter. There's missing kids, and let's deal with this later. But, like, let's find the missing kid. It's not the fucking, like, you not liking Ayakashimori has nothing to do with this missing kid. But, I mean, Ayakashi wouldn't give a shit about missing human kids. You know what I mean? It's not the same as, like, humans being like, well, I mean, like, I care more about the fact that you don't like me than looking for kids. Like, couldn't get away with that as a human to another human. But, like, I don't, it just still seems a little suspicious. So, I don't know. I don't know. Right, I will right away. I leave Takumi with Shu and make a call to Yakumo on my device. Although I was surprised at the situation as I explained it, he agreed to meet immediately. Yeah, and Yakumo, make sure you tell Sammy. How'd it go? Yeah, he said he'd come. He doesn't know about this place, so let's go wait for him outside. Got it. I don't know. Like, I want to trust Shu, but, like, after the conversations with Orochi, I don't really know. Like, and maybe their big evil plan isn't evil, it's just some kind of big weird plan, and you're like, really? This is what we were worried about? This is not suspicious at all, but, like, they've been acting suspicious, so, like, Anyway. No, lost child from the real world. I knew Spirited Away existed in the real world, but it's my first time encountering an actual case. Takumi, was it? No, apparently. Now it's Takumi, but it was Hiromi twice before. The actual fuck. Anyway. You'll be alright. We promise we'll find your brother. Yakumo balled his fist in a victory pose to try and cheer Takumi up. Really? Thank you, Yakumo. That I don't know why I questioned it. It was like, really? Thank you, Yakumo. Like, Yakumo, thanks a lot. I mean it. Like, don't worry about it. I've heard so much about what sort of a person Shu is from you, and we can't just let a lost child be. I was grateful for his cheerful reply. We have to find Takuma as soon as possible. I'm sure he's afraid. It'd be inefficient for us to move together, so let's split up into 2 groups. Takumi responded to my suggestion by squeezing Shu's hand beside him. Hey. He seems really attached to Shu since he saved him earlier. In that case, let's have those 2 stay together. Wait, you're not leaving me alone with this kid, are you? I don't know how I'm supposed to handle human children. Shu cuts Yakumo off anxiously. It was decided in the end that I'd be with Shu and Takumi. I mean, I feel like... He's like, yeah, sure, you call Yakumo and we're gonna take you and... I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's fine. But as we all moved together to Amatsuna, where Takumi was found, I addressed Yakumo again. Will be you okay on your own, Yakumo? That's literally what it says. Will be you. Okay. Will you be okay on your own, Yakumo? Yeah, I will. If they're twins, then I just need to find another kid who looks like Takumi. Oh, but is it alright if I take a picture of you to find Takumi? Yakumo gets down on his knees and looks at Takumi with a smile.
Yeah, okay.
Thanks. Alright, if any issues come up, I'll give you a call. Right, I'll call you if anything happens on this end too. We'll see you later. You hope Yakumo's smart enough to be like, I'm gonna call Sammy and tell everyone. Right, let's both do our best. And be like, Shu doesn't want to call anyone else? Winks at Yakumo, so he's like, alright, I get it. I'll call Sammy and everyone else while you guys are gone. I mean, seriously? This is why people don't trust me on search parties, because they'd be like, don't tell anyone else, Yakumo. And I'd be like, texting Sammy like right away, like, they don't want anyone else to know, and that's sus as fuck to me. There's a missing kid, yo. Call in the brigade. Like, we split up and immediately began our search. Anyway. Oh, I'm so drunk. Hapyakuya? That is a word. That's a lot. Anyway. What are you saying? I haven't even started. It was close to dawn in the real world, so the number of Ayakashi around had dwindled somewhat. As we walked, we passed some Tanuki Ayakashi making a ruckus, and Takumi shook with fear.
You really are lots of spirits here.
Yeah, it's a bit scary, huh?
I know they're real. Me and Takuma see them all the time. Grandpa told us not everyone can see them, but we're special. They come out sometimes and walk around.
Your grandpa told you about them.
Yeah, Grandpa sees them too.
So Takumi and his family can see spirits. But even though they can, it's still frightening for them to come to an unfamiliar world with nothing but Ayakashi around. I mean, first of all, imagine you were like, I'm just used to seeing shit that's not supposed to be there. Everyone else would be like, do you need your head examined? And you're like, no, we're fine. Well, your grandpa's like, just don't tell anyone, because people are going to think you're crazy. Grandpa knows he's been there, right? And then all of a sudden you're like, poof, now I'm in a world where all these things are, and you're like, yeah, okay, I've officially lost my fucking mind. But the kid's like, I know they're real, but like, this is fucking weird. Kid, yeah, I think we'd all be the same. Part of you would be like, this is awesome! But you'd also be like, am I dead? Maybe. I saw Takumi was stiff in the face, holding hands with Shu and unwilling to let him go. It really does get hot around here. I should head home soon. Takumi lets out another yelp as a snow woman passed, a soft gust of snow trailing behind her. It's alright, she won't attack you or anything. Shu squeezes Takumi as if to protect him, and we watch the snow woman pass by. Oh, he's protecting Takumi from the snow. Shu shielded Takumi from the wind and snow as he discreetly shifts the direction of his body. See? Nothing happened, right?
Yeah.
Even after that, Shu continued to watch out for Takumi in different ways. I don't know how to deal with human children. Protects child with life. I mean, Shu, you've got more instincts on that than like I would. Pushes kid in snow. Oh, is that cold? All right. That'd be me pushing the kid in the snow, calling my kids. Anyway. Protecting him so other Ayakashi around won't bump into him, and shooing off Ayakashi who noticed Takumi was a human child. Don't be so jumpy. You'll draw more hecklers in. Act normal. We're here to protect you, alright?
I'll try.
Encouraged by Shu, Takumi raised his head and straightened his back. I'm sure the reason why Takumi's so taken to Shu isn't just because of how Shu looks. Unable to leave Takumi alone, Shu spoke to him. Even though Shu's so curt, I'm sure he felt how kind of a person Shu is. But none of the other Ayakashimori know how kind of a person Shu is. I'm just getting really tired of saying Shu's name, like in the last 7 sentences. We've said his name 42 times, and it's like, okay. Simmer down. All his actions and comments go misunderstood. It's like, Shu is a really kind person. He's being a really kind person to the kid. Shu is being a really kind person to the kid. Other Ayakashimori don't know how kind of a person Shu is. Could we just not say the same thing 42 different ways, please? Thanks. It was just starting to, like, rub me the wrong way in that last sentence. It was like, stop it! You rub my fur all the wrong way. I don't like it. Hey, what's wrong? Shu looked quizzically at my face as I was standing there in silence. Oh, sorry. I was just thinking about how cool you looked just now. Huh? Shu's eyes blinked in surprise and confusion. I was cool just now? Yeah, you were. How was I cool? I'm still not strong enough yet. How can I be cool if I'm not at the top of Sakuratani, above all the other Ayakashi? Shu spoke, truly not understanding what I meant. Right, that's the basis for what he thinks is cool. It was charming how hard Shu worked toward being cool, and I didn't intend on dismissing him. However, I began to speak, carefully selecting my words to imply there were other cool things. It's a different cool from that. I just thought of how wonderful you are to look out for Takumi and protect him. I just thought you being so kind was cool. Being kind is cool? Yeah. Hey, Takumi, Shu's cool, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Takumi brightly nodded in agreement. I don't get it. How is being kind cool? I'm not sure I can explain it really well. Different people think different things are cool. Like, I don't believe power is necessarily cool. Huh? Shu's eyes opened wider in surprise than ever. For example, there are people in power who abuse it to harm others. I don't think anything like that could be cool. I personally think helping out someone in need and being kind to others is much cooler. And now I've questioned my entire life, and I don't want to be on the top of Sakuratani now because you don't think it's cool. Well, I guess it worked. being kind to others. As he repeated my words, Shu's expression shifted to one of clear surprise and hesitation, until... I see. When he muttered at the last moment, I thought I saw his face turn into a tiny, happy smile. I hope he understood. I just hoped deep inside that Shu understood a bit more that how he was right now made him plenty cool. Bouncy ball, bouncy ball, bouncy ball. In the corner, but also I'm sitting on a bouncy ball, so when that bounced, I bounced, and then I was like, I better not do that because I'm too fat. I'm going to pop this fucking thing. Search goes on. Shu. Orochi, there you are. After an hour had passed after we began our search, we encountered Orochi. Shu's voice is off today, but I can't. Spacey! Spacey! I apologize, this is so sudden. As he spoke to me, I saw his face covered in a thin layer of sweat. I really do, hope for people who buy this game later, pass out, that they patch this motherfucker and fix the coding issues. So, if you change her name, it does it properly, because it's really fucking annoying. So I really hope that people who buy this game in the future don't have to be fucking annoyed with it. The typos and stuff are random, but I don't think that, for the most part, the typos that we've seen, it's okay, that's awkward. There's some awkward sentences, but not really oh my god, this is awful! We've played terrible fucking translated games. This one really isn't that bad. There's a couple of awkward sentences and some typos and shit, which we see in every game. But for the most part, it's fine. It's just this is the thing that tweaks me. Where it's so how's the game of translation? They never put your fucking name in it right, and it pisses me off. Especially when you're in fucking Shiratsuki's route, because they call him Shiro, and you're Shino, and then I get confused. I'm wait, nope, that's them talking to me, and they fucked up my name. It's so confusing. Also, why would you think that was a good idea? We'll have everyone call him Shiro, and she's Shino, and then I was because then I'm gonna get confused in my brain and be wait, which one are they? Oh, right, no, that's us. Oh, wait, no, that's him, because, it's just, it takes too much of an effort. I just want to be there's gonna be a point where you're who the fuck was Orochi again? Oh, right. But, it's really hard when you just want to enjoy, and then you're wait, oh no, they're talking to him, because it's Shiro, not Shino. You know what I mean? Or I'm thinking they're talking to him, but they're talking to me because it's not Spacey, and it's a Shino, and I forget that that's her fucking name. It's I don't know. It just bugs me, okay? Damn it! Anyway. Also, on that weird instance earlier where they just said the same thing 14 times. That's not really a huge problem in the game. It happened a couple of times. Max. Every once in a while I don't say it when they're Shu looked at me. Shu had a smile on his face. Shu blinked. Shu did this. Shu. And you're could you just use his pronouns every once in a while? Because in English, we don't say the person's name every single fucking sentence, and it gets really fucking irritating. I don't know why. It's that's just, if it's just, there's something just fundamentally that just it's just awkward and weird, and I don't like it. Stop it. I know that's just a translation thing, but it's just so weird. And then that last time was just the entire game worth of it building up where I'm stop just saying Shu! It's a nice person. 14 times in 3 sentences. Jesus. Anyway, we get it. Says the person who repeats the same thing 42 times. Anyway. I do it and it annoys me, and then when other people do it, it annoys me more. I don't know. Anyway. As he spoke to me, I saw his face covered in a thin layer of sweat. No, it's fine. I wanted to help, of course. What are you doing, Orochi? So you think he's around here? In response to Shu's question, Orochi simply closed his eyes and shook his head side to side. Was he running looking for this child? What was he doing? No, I tried searching around Amawa Mansion. No sign yet. However, I have a report that a child was seen around the Field of Autumn Leaves. I was just about to head there. The Field of Autumn Leaves? We need to hurry! There's a stream there, so if he were to slip and fall, aren't there, Ayakashi who live in the stream? That might drown him, probably. I don't know. Let's hurry! Right. I didn't have enough air in my lungs for Orochi's. Right. Anyway.
Takuma! Takuma!
Takuma, please answer us if you're there! We searched for Takuma, walking over the leaves and heading further into the field. This area is sloped. It's unlikely he'd climb up on purpose. I imagine a child would go the other direction, considering the height. Yeah, you're right. Let's go search over there! I could tell that Orochi and Shu were putting their best effort into finding him. But I mean, you know what I mean? Because Orochi and Shu were like, yeah, her plan, okay. And then, like, Yakumo's not with us, so I don't know. I don't know. Do I believe that this child is real? I feel a little, I don't know. Orochi left an impression on me, showing a tense expression on his face I had never seen before. But then there's Orochi, instead of being like, yeah, no, there's a missing kid and looking sly, he's like, missing kid. I don't know how I feel. I don't know what to believe right now. He really is desperate to find him. He's like, these children were key in our plan. We were going to sacrifice them and one disappeared. That could be it. I don't know. I don't want Orochi to be evil, okay? Like, all of our boyfriend side pieces have always been, like, good bros. And I just feel bad that Orochi's gonna be, like, the one asshole. Like, that's rude. You know what I mean? That just doesn't seem right. I don't like that. Anyway. I mean, even Hajun, who was kind of fucking useless, was still a bro. You know what I mean? Like, just saying. The ground's damp in this area. Even as a child, it's possible he may have left footprints somewhere. You're right. Let's check as we move forward. Footprints, huh? Got it. I'll keep a lookout.
Takuma! Takuma! It's me, Takumi! Answer me!
I don't want to scream intently, because, like, again. Over half an hour passed on our search. I feel like I don't think the neighbors would hear me screaming, like,
Takumi, help!
you know what I mean? But, like, you never know. There he is! Really? Shu raised his voice and everyone focused on him. Over there! Ahead of where Shu pointed was a boy with the same clothes as Takumi lying under a tree. Like the same clothes? I mean, they're twins. Maybe they like dressing like each other? I don't know.
Takuma!
Hey, you okay? Rushing over, Shu carefully picks up Takuma. The worst case scenario flickered through my mind. He's like, oh, he's having a nap. Yep, he's just napping. It appears he's simply asleep. Takuma! Oh, that's Takumi.
Takuma! I'm so glad!
He showed signs of crying, but seemed unharmed. He must have fallen asleep from all that crying. Oh, good. Oh, good! He fell asleep crying. I know what she's saying, but it's so funny. I let out a sigh of relief myself. I got a yawn. It doesn't seem like he'll wake up, so I'll carry him. Huh. After regrouping with Yakumo, he volunteered to take charge of escorting the boys back home. As Takuma was picked up onto Yakumo's back, still asleep, Takumi came toward him.
Takuma, I'm so glad.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Then I got confused. I'm like, wait, which one were we supposed to? Oh, no, Takuma was the one we were looking for. Takumi is the one that we... Okay, never mind.
Takuma, I'm so glad. I'm so glad.
Ever since we had found Takuma, Takumi looked at peace and cried seemingly from relief.
Thank you.
Takumi choked at a tear-filled apology, and Shu gently put his hand on Takumi's head. It's a tear-filled gratitude, not apology, but that's okay. It's fine. Just get home already. I'm sure you're scary. I'm sure it's scary being in this world. And be careful not to get separated from each other again, okay? He is your brother, after all.
Okay, we won't get separated ever again.
Through his tears, Takumi gives a firm nod back. During all this, I noticed that Orochi watched with kind eyes, which is just really weird because they were being really suspicious, and now they're all being like, nice. I don't know what's happening. Orochi. Alright, we'll be going now. Oh, right, thanks. Later, kid. And please do be careful. After our goodbyes, Yakumo nods and activates a teleportation spell. They were enveloped in light and vanished. Phew, what a relief. I let out another big sigh. I'm sure they'll be safe once they've gotten into Nakakuni. It seems this ordeal is finally over. Very good work, Shu. You too, Orochi. Oh, that's right. Hearing their voices, I realized I'd forgotten to thank them and straightened myself out. Shu, Orochi, thank you both so much. Why are you thanking us? I'm the one who asked you to help. Right, but it's our duty as Ayakashimori to safely return those who come here. It might have been random, but you still found them both. To the Ayakashi, they were just human children who wandered into the world by accident. But the two of them protected Takumi and then searched for Takuma. I felt I needed to properly show my gratitude as an Ayakashimori for their unexpected aid. That's why I'm very grateful to you both, Shu and Orochi. To you both, Shu and Orochi. That was like such a formal fucking statement. I bowed my head, expressing my gratitude. Whatever. I just stayed with him because he wouldn't let go of me. You don't need to thank us. Shu quickly glances away as he answered, his cheeks stained a faint red. I only obeyed Shu under his decision, and also... And also? I asked Orochi to clarify, curious what he had to say, and he answered somewhat shyly. Also, I thought it would be lonely and painful to be torn away from your other half. This sounds like Orochi's got some serious, backstory issues. I felt his sympathy toward the brothers, and I imagine how that must have been his main reason he helped look for them. You just want to touch or put your hand on Orochi's shoulder. Did you get torn away from your other half, Orochi? Do you need a hug, man? He really isn't such a cold person, huh? I mean, I don't know. Maybe not. He keeps flip-flopping, and I'm very confused. I mean, I like Orochi, but then he's like, ha ha ha, our evil plan. Well, it's more like, ha ha ha, our plan. And you're like, is it an evil plan? Is it not an evil plan? Because if it's not an evil plan, you're acting very fucking suspicious. So, but maybe you just look suspicious because you're Snack Man and you're just throwing us a fucking surprise party or something. Like, with piñatas and a bouncy house and you just don't want us to know. I don't know. You know what I mean? You don't know. He showed a kind of frantic urgency in his search, like an older brother with his younger brother. Orochi? I take a deep breath to address him again. Yes, what is it? I misunderstood you. I'm not quite sure I understand what you mean. I'm sorry this is so sudden. I always thought you might be a bit of a cold person. But I was mistaken. You could never be so cold, seeing you desperately search for Takuma. I'm sorry I had this misunderstanding of you. That's an awkward way to phrase it. There was no answer back, and the only reply was the silence from a confused Orochi and Shu, and he's like, well, now we can't stab her in the back because she thinks I'm nice! Fuck. All it takes. However, the sound of someone's laughter escaping eventually reached my ears. Shu. Oh no, it's Orochi. You really are interesting. I look up to see Orochi with his hand on the rim of his glasses, laughing awkwardly. Oh dear. See, this. How could I possibly go through with using you after that sincere, heartfelt apology? Using? Not quite sure what he can mean. My mind stops for an instant. And just then... Spacey! Samey? I looked toward the sudden sound of footsteps and the voice to see Samey running up to us with Kaneda beside him as well. It's those guys! Oh dear. I suspect this will lead us to some trouble. Shu clicked his tongue and Orochi furrowed his brow. I myself stood in utter confusion. See, that makes me wonder. He's like, how can I think of using you? What? He's like, well, you were so nice, so now I'm not gonna... You know what I'm saying? I just said it. What the fuck? What is happening? Every other one, you're like, oh, this guy's the asshole and something bad's gonna happen. And this one, you're like, is Orochi the bad guy? Are they gonna do bad things? Are they doing good things? What has happened? I don't know. But they do a good job with this, because you're like, no, Shu and Orochi are kind of nice. They're just misunderstood. And then they do shit, and you're like, no, they're kind of shady. And then you're like, well, but I mean, Shu's not going to be shady because he's going to be in love with us and he's going to want to change his mind. But, is Orochi shady? And then you're like, maybe he's not bad? Maybe he is. I don't... Motherfucker. God damn it, Orochi, you're so good at this, because I don't know if we should trust you or not. Samey, Kawada... I thought it was Kaneda. They're really fucking up the name. Whoever did this route was drunk. God damn it, Tim. Put the fucking Jack Daniels down when you're typing. Because first it was Hiromi or whatever the fucking kid's name was, but his name was Takumi. And then now they literally just said fucking Kaneda. But I was like, isn't Kaneda like the bad guy from one of the other routes? You know, the cheap... And then it was his son? Was that a hero's route? Like... But then again, was Kaneda and also in... Who was the one in Akuro's? But Kaneda was a bad guy in one of the other routes. And then I was like, why is he here? But it's Kawada, not Kaneda. What the Okay, anyway. Sammy, Kawada, why are you both here? Kawada was the guy that called us and that dealt with Shu and the thing. That makes sense. But, like, who was drunk typing this? I felt the tension within Sammy and Kawada as they kept their distance from us for some reason.
That's obvious, isn't it? We came looking for you.
I was worried that I let you off alone, so I called Sammy and reported to him. Good for you, because Yakumo didn't, and what was I saying? Like, we probably should tell someone. Just saying. But even so, that was no reason for them both to be this tense right now.
Yeah, okay. Don't make that face. I'll explain.
Sammy gave a nervous smile, but it disappeared and his stern expression returned. Is he going to put on the sexy face he did when he was fighting Akuro? Because I'm down. I'm here for this.
I heard Shu called you, so I did some investigating to learn more about the situation. Someone provided testimony that a serpent was seen walking with a small child. I'd assume they'd been abducted for some reason. In order to find out the truth, I set out to find you and Shu as quickly as possible. And that's about where we are now.
No, that's a misunderstanding.
A misunderstanding?
So those children weren't abducted, but were spirited away to Sakuratani.
Oh, that. Yakumo just reported about that, and that's how we were able to catch up to you.
I glance over to Shu to see him glaring at Sammy with narrowed eyes, mixed with anger and fear. I mean, I really do feel like that's, legit. All of them should be kind of glaring at Sammy with anger and fear, because Sammy is a little untrustworthy. He's very shady, and I feel like he's very much a person that would easily anger other people. I mean, we've kind of seen it like, wow, you're kind of a dick, but I love you. And also, he is someone that should be feared. He may not look it or act it most of the time, like, oh, he will stab you. Him and the chief, shadiest bitches. I love them both, though. You know I do.
We didn't come to check out that incident. There's a bigger matter we're here for.
As Sammy's expression went unusually blank, a shiver ran down my spine. He opens his eyes. Oh, fuck!
Spacey, you were being used as a part of a plot that Mitsuchi's been setting up.
I mean, yes, we kind of already knew that, but I'm just still curious as, like, what it was. What? It took a full few seconds for me to understand what Sammy had said. I'm also confused at how... Not they were going to use you, you're being used. But, like, what have I actually done for them that would help them in any way? I'm just curious. However, I didn't understand what he meant. Used? What does he mean by plot? Was this what Orochi had been planning? What do you mean? My voice sounded faint, almost like a whisper. Sammy's expression relaxes just a bit to one of an apologetic nature.
I know I said we'd leave Mitsuchi to you, but I was looking into them too. You were actually being used as a cover for Shu and Orochi.
Okay. But again, how?
Atsuya originally had me on the investigation alone, but I'd stand out too much for better or worse, so we had you act as the Mitsuchi liaison. Just earlier, we determined that Orochi and Shu were intended on using you for their goals.
I mean, Orochi did say that. He's like, no, but she was, like, nice to me and apologized, so I gave up on that. Because, like... I mean, that's how this game happens. Like... Everyone's like, no, god damn it, oh, you know what, you found my plan, and you know what, you're right, it was a bad idea. Okay, we're done. Everybody lives happily ever after. Because it's just supposed to be kind of a light game. There's not a lot of plot. So the plot's just, like, quickly run through. Not a problem, but it's just how it goes in this one. And Rochi's like, yeah. And she was like, kicking rocks, pretending he doesn't know what we're talking about. I looked towards Shu and Orochi on a reflex, but the pair fell silent with rigid faces. Why? What do you mean? Do you know what Shu's goal is, Amy? I had no other choice but to ask Sammy. Yeah, he'll at least tell you.
Shu's objective is to take over Sakuratani.
I mean, yeah, he told us as much, but... Oh, yeah, he told me that, but I figured it was bullshit, because there's no fucking way it's gonna make it. Although he spoke in a dry, curt manner, his answer pierced my heart like a lance. I'd just start laughing, and I'd be like, yeah, but I mean, seriously? He wants to do it because he thinks it's cool. Like, it's never gonna last. Stop. No, that can't be... Like, how she's acting surprised about this. He basically told you that. You were just like, he wants to take over and be at the top, but it just because he thinks it's cool, and you just pawned it off because it's the dumbest fucking reason. But it's not like this is new information, where he'd be like, he wants to take over, and you're like, yeah, I mean, he said as much, but I didn't think he actually would go through with it, because, I mean, his reasoning is pretty stupid. Oh shit, he had a real plan? Oh. Well, damn. Like, you wouldn't be like, what? Like this was all news to you? Ah. His eyes glittered innocently and proudly earlier. He's so simple and shy, even when he acts proud. He even showed Takumi his gentle side. And even with Orochi, I now realized how kind he really was, seeing how desperately he searched. I believed it was impossible for the two of them to plot a revolution, but... Why won't they say anything? If they don't deny it, does that mean it's true? Heat was building inside me and my vision blurred. Not from surprise or anger, but sadness. I mean, I kind of get because, like, they're always hiding in the shadows and whatever, and then, like, okay, that works, but I also kind of feel like doing this is, like, the last hour in Chapter 7, and then you have Chapter 8, it's like, is there really enough time for this level of, like, what? No! And then they change their mind and everything's okay and we trust them again and then he's boyfriend? Because I just don't feel like that's... I mean, I guess we'll have to see how it goes, but it's almost like, yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like at this point they're going to be like, yeah, no, we gave up. No one's ever going to... They're going to be fucking monitored and everyone's going to be suspicious of them forever, and then you're just like, well, he lied to me and he was using me, but total boyfriend. Really? I feel like this is the... I don't want to say the weakest plot, but... Because it could be a really good plot with the two of them, like, they're blah, 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 like, whatever. If it was a longer, more in-depth game. But because it's such, like, light, fluffy, there's a little plot, and we just kind of, and then things get resolved and everything's fine. There's really... This is not the plot that should have been in this route. Like, this is a good idea for a longer, more drawn-out, where you're going to delve into it, and, like, oh, kind of route. But, like, this is, like, it's a short... light, fluffy, but you're gonna put this heavy kind of thing, and then we're supposed to just forget it? You know what I mean? It's too... what should be a deep plot for a surface fluffy game, I guess. I don't know. And, like, in a longer game, you're like, I mean, the guy kidnaps you, and then you're, like, using you, and then all this shit, but then you fell in love with him, and, like, and everything works, and, like, where that would go in a longer game, you'd be like, it's kind of bullshit, but I mean, we've been in it for a while. This is like, hi, I just met you, and this is crazy. You were planning to use me, but, like, I'm gonna have your babies now. Like, what the what? I don't know. It just... I don't think they thought this one through that well. We'll see how it works out, but... I don't know. Good plot. Not in this game, necessarily, because, you know, it doesn't work for me in this game, but anyway. Anyway, blah, 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 vision blurred, sadness. I don't know if I read that, but whatever.
You understand that'll be more trouble for you if you run away now, right, Shu? Orochi?
Sammy addresses the two, not breaking any of his calmness.
I'll take you into custody to Nakakuni from here, and there we'll hold a proper interrogation.
Raising my head, I look to see Sammy and Kawada readying their Misamaru. At this rate, Shu and Orochi would be captured and taken away. Girl, do not get involved. Unable to comprehend what was happening, I stood frozen as if I were just a bystander, and I choked from the shocking revelation. Oh! Oh, good God. Now we're getting kidnapped by Orochi. She was like, God damn it! He looks so ashamed of Orochi in this CG. Like... I don't know. Like, oh, whatever. Again, this is the 7th chapter. There's only 8 chapters in each thing. This is just not... I feel like I really want to like this plot. It's a really good idea, just not in this game. And it's just like, you're glossing it over, and it's just... I don't know. I just feel kind of disappointed in them in this one. Because again, great idea, but it's not going to be executed well in a game that's this short. And that's really just supposed to be like, there's like a little bit of a plot, but it's really just for you to get to know your boyfriend. Make a little bit of drama at the end. And this is just, like, it could have been fleshed out so much better in a longer game. So I'm just extremely disappointed. I mean, we kind of knew where this was going in the very beginning, but I was like, maybe it'll turn out different. Like, I don't know. But now we're here and it's like, all right. I'm sorry. We don't intend to go quietly with you, so we shall take our leave now. Spacey! Orochi wraps his arm around my neck from behind me and firmly applies pressure on it. And this is where you just freaking elbow him in the gut. Or just nut punch him. Because you've got a fist, right? You just... Anyway. I didn't want to believe it was Orochi who did this to me. I mean... What are you doing, Orochi? Let go of her! I cannot. With this, we can finally make your dream come true, Shu. Do you want everything we've done now to go to waste here? He's like, yeah, because I'm fucking in love with her, so I've changed my mind. Okay. Shu chokes on his breath and stays silent. I felt like our eyes met for just a moment, but I was unsure as he cast his eyes downward.
Orochi, I thought you were cleverer than this.
In contrast to Seimi's quiet voice, his aura intensified as he prepared a potent spell. Please open your fucking eyes and give me that same fucking sprite that we had in Akuto's route. I need it. However, Orochi replied in a calm voice as well. And don't worry. So long as you don't move, I have no intention of hurting Spacey. However, there's something we must do, so we shall be borrowing her for a short while as a hostage.
Something you must do, huh? Is that something you want to have happen, even if you have to do this?
Yes, it is. It's our grandest wish. Orochi tightened his arm around my neck. It was a gesture, or more of a threat, but it was my heart that hurt more than my neck. I know, I trusted you, man. Never trust a snake. Anyway. Please don't take one step closer until all's been put into order. Of course, that includes intervening with our subordinates or hideouts. Once everything's done, we will contact you. Please wait for that. Orochi spoke as though it was a business matter. Shu, on the other hand, was dead silent, as if he were avoiding the need to look up. I mean, okay, also, can we say the cliche, like, oh, they're like snakes, and they're snaky. I mean, I feel like it's just discriminatory against snakes, right? Like, and everything. He's a snake. Ooh, they can't be trusted. They're snake. And they kind of are, and you're like, just perpetuating stereotypes here. It's kind of rude, game, is all I'm saying. Like, I don't know. But anyway. So Shu's okay with this too? At first he had tried to stop Orochi, but they both seemed to have the same goal. I was going to be used in some way for that goal. What do we do, Seimi?
Nothing we can do now that they have a hostage. We shouldn't make any mistakes or aggravate them.
The two of them converse in quick words, and Seimi addresses Orochi.
All right, we'll accept your demands. However, you better keep your promise, got it?
Of course. It is our proposal after all, so we wouldn't do anything so foolish.
Well, that's what I'm hoping too.
Seimi spoke, his shoulders sagging, and looked toward me. Like, girl, you should have inched away instead of being like, what? I would have been like, do-do-do-do-do-do, backing away slowly. He should have been like, Spacey, get over here. You know, I mean, seriously, if you don't trust them, why would you let me stand, like, in grabbing distance? I'm just saying! God! I expect better of you, Seimi. Not me, because, like, we have to be, like, the one who gets kidnapped and shit, so we're gonna do stupid stuff like stand in between two people who are shady and trying to use me. Also, we're like, wait, what? Before one of them grabs me by the throat. But I'm just saying, Seimi should have been smarter and warned me and been like, get away.
Spacey, I promise we'll save you, so hang tight.
You better, because otherwise how am I going to date you next? Unable to say anything at all I could do was stay silent and nod. I realized it was being used as collateral by people whom I consider to be my friends. and Ayakashi would normally have been able to use a spell to get out of the situation. But for me right now, it was just impossible. Are you sure? Because I'm pretty sure you could just punch him in the face. I'm just saying, right? Because you're standing there, he's got his arm around your neck. You could either just like, BAM! Raise your fist up and just bop him in the fucking nose, elbow him in the stomach, instead of just standing there like a limp noodle. I mean, I'm not saying it's not going to get you killed, but you might as well try, right? Make an attempt. Again, could be a bad idea, but like, then when they take you hostage because it didn't work, you're like, I mean, you have to give me credit for at least attempting to escape. Like, what fun would it be if I was just a wet noodle and you just dragged me along? Like, that would have made your lives way too easy, right? And now you look better because it's like, ha, you still subdued someone who was fighting back. I'm just saying, you know, con your con artists.
Let's get back to Nakakuni for now.
Right. Oh, that was Kawada. Right. And then they poof out. I stood there in a daze, watching Seimi and Kawada disappear through their teleportation spell. I feel like Seimi gave up a little too easily, but okay. With no sign of letting me go, Orochi takes out a rope and ties both my hands behind my back. You should have punched him in the face before now. They really do intend to treat me as a hostage. I felt so melancholy, I almost wanted to laugh at how our friendship was just an illusion. I apologize for being so rough with a woman. However, we can't allow for you to escape. He sounded emotionless as he checked over the knot. I couldn't really believe he thought that. I didn't know Orochi at all. Not only Orochi, but Shu too. Shu. I wouldn't have even said his name. I wouldn't even look him in the eye. And later when he rescued, you'd be like, no forgiveness. Fuck you. You used me. I don't trust you. But she's going to trust him and fall in love with him. And it's like, no, this game is too short for that. I don't like it. What? In panic, I call out to Shu, and after shuddering in response, he gives me back a curt reply. Do you really want to take over Sakuratani? You're a loser. You're never going to be able to manage it. That's right. I'm going to be at the very top. I mean, seriously? Of all the people, like, you're going to suck at it. Like, because you just suck. He seems like an okay person, but, like, you're not capable of being a leader. I'm just saying. Like, everyone else at least... Okay, Hiro's not exactly capable of being a leader either. Like, just because you're the strongest of your gut doesn't make you a leader. Like, look, Hiro, you're not... But Hiro being the leader of everyone makes a little more sense than Shu's never done anything to give you any indication that he's anything more than, like, a street punk. Yeah, this is my gang. Me and the 6 guys from the neighborhood, like... I don't care if you have 6,000. You know what I mean? You're like, I just can't take you seriously. Like, I'm not sure Shiratsky should be leading everybody because, but like, Akudo, 100%. If he was that, I'd be like, I believe it. Orochi, shady enough to do it because he's kind of like a shady politician. We still kind of like him, don't get me wrong. But like, look, Orochi, your sus is not nearly as sexy as fucking Seimi or the Chief. I'm just saying, they are shady and hot. We could have had something Orochi, but like, meh. Now it's like, no, you're so one-dimensionally evil. It's just, it's not even fun. Although, actually, no, I'll give him credit. He was really good at like, oh, he's nice. Is he nice, though? No, he seems nice, but is it? Like, gave you the benefit of the doubt more than once. And I shouldn't have. He cut himself off, then delivered his remark. I see. I guess I just had my own misunderstandings. Shu spoke so many times about wanting to be the #1 Ayakashi, the #1 Shirei. I was the one who decided that there wasn't any ill intent or mischievous plot behind it. Because, I mean, how are you going to take him seriously? It's like a 13-year-old, like, I'm going to take over the world! And you're like, okay, sure, kid. And then they have an evil, dastardly plot because they have, like, a supervillain basement. And you're like, you know, I didn't see that coming. I really just, okay. I'm just saying. I misunderstood them and believed in them. This is all because I was so soft. Dizzy from exhaustion and regret, and even self-hatred from what I caused, I could barely stand. And now then, let's go back too. I was barely able to stay conscious of Orochi speaking to Shu. Where are we going? Anywhere. With this being the situation now, they won't be taking action now. I don't think it would matter which hideout we went to. I see. I want to go to Makatsui then. Shu, I continued to follow Orochi's lead, spoke with a bit of strength to his voice. Orochi nods, not objecting in particular. Yes, that spot has been exposed, but it is the most spacious. Let's be off then. Right. With Orochi pushing my back forward, I'm forced to walk along. You want to believe that Shu is like, wait, I don't want this to happen. He's like, yeah, let's go to Makatsui because some reason he can get... You know what I mean? That he's going to be like, no, I was just lying to Orochi to save you. Like, you want to believe that, but... I mean, because I'm sure he's supposed to be your boyfriend, but like, I don't know. Anyway. Oh, whoops, I forgot to read that. I clicked it and then I double-clicked. Sorry. Hold on. Suspicion. Its every step felt so heavy, with the soft, fallen leaves turning into mud. Anyway. Returning to Nakakuni with Kawada, Sammy gathers the other squad leaders to his office.
Oh, we've got an emergency. One of my squad members was just taken hostage by Mitsuchi. I'm requesting aid from any Ayakashimori to stop the Mitsuchi coup and recover my team member.
Mitsuchi's staging a coup? They took a hostage? Tell us more.
Right, I'll go over the details.
Sammy briefly explains the events that led to the current situation to all of the gathered leaders. I see. Oh, Kata was a lady, wasn't she? Anyway, I see. We understand the situation now. But if that's the case, we can't take any action without being careful, right? If we aren't and they notice, if we try to and do something, we'll put your newbie in danger.
Well, that's the case. But we can't just sit here and wait for them to make their preparations and make their move. We need to be careful, but we urgently need a plan. First, I want to gather team members, considering we might be entering a showdown.
Got it. All my squad members are in the office, so we can help out. I'll make a request for squads off duty. I'll let them know now.
Sorry for the trouble. Thanks.
I think I can bring in some members making rounds on their late-night shifts right now. Most Ayakashi are asleep anyway. We should go call our other friends! Call our other Ayakashi friends. I'm sorry, but like... If you told everyone else, oh, by the way, Shu thinks he's fit to lead everybody, everyone would be like, fuck that guy, and you'd have everybody on your side. We can take him down, it's fine. I'm just saying. Maybe. I don't know. It's worth a shot. Anyway. Right, I'll go let them know now. Alright, let's go. Seeing the others scatter, Sammy and Kawada see them off with gazes of thanks and relief. It seems like we can manage to get team members. So, what do we do, Sammy? I feel like Kawada's voice is such a douche voice for the fact that he's actually not a bad guy.
Alright, I need to report to the chief and...
As Sammy began to speak, another sound cut him off.
It's Yakumo!
Realizing that he couldn't connect with Yakumo earlier, Sammy hastily picks up the device.
What is it, Yakumo?
Hello, I'm sorry, but do you know where Chief Tokiwa is right now? I've been trying to contact him, but I just can't connect to him at all. Oh my god, did they kidnap the chief? Wait.
No, I don't. Actually, I was just about to try and call Itsuya just now, too.
After getting the call from Kawada, Sammy had reported into Tokiwa before Sammy moved out. At that point, he was unable to make contact. However, that was the last time for a while. I see. I wonder where he's gone off to.
Is it urgent? We got a serious situation on our hands, too. What is it?
Well, we have a bit of a problem, and I didn't know that I could make the call on my own, so I thought I'd discuss it with the chief.
A problem?
Woo! Woo! Okay, it's getting good. Don't get me wrong. Like, the plot's getting kind of interesting, but like at the same time, it's like, this would have been such a better, like, plot if it was a longer game. It's gonna, like, wrap up too quick. But I appreciate them throwing other, like, fucking twists in here. But, like, what did they do to the chief? Or is the chief fucking suspicious? I mean, the chief has always been fucking suspicious, but, like, you can't have this chief be suspicious in Shu's route. You know what I mean? He's gotta be suspicious in Samy's route. That's where it has to happen. Samy's route's the last one, isn't it? There isn't, like, is there a route after Sammy? Hold on, let me go to the main guide. Let's see where the route order is. Ah, that's not what I want! Go back. I clicked the wrong thing. Oh, well, I mean, okay, right. We shouldn't have trusted Orochi because he's Toma and amnesia memories. Okay, never mind. Yeah, well, there's a finale, so I don't know what that is, if that's just, like, whatever, but... Well, that's gonna suck. I don't want to play a finale where we don't get a boyfriend. That's weird. Oh, is that the harem route? I'm here for it. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this part up here. I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.